way to Julia's house for a study sesh when out of nowhere, I found myself flying onto the ground. I was so stunned, I didn't even see the ball that had hit me, or the fact there was a cute guy rushing over to check if I was okay. I'd scraped my hand pretty badly, but I almost didn't mind because now I was face to face with a gorgeous guy. In fact, I was so busy staring at him and blushing that I didn't even notice Julia marching towards us.
What are you two doing?
Turns out the cute guy was Callum, Julia's boyfriend. Of course, every nice thing is always hers. I'm Jenny, by the way, and that lucky girl is Julia. She's the daughter of the richest guy in town, Mr. Walsh. We're supposed to be friends, but we honestly have nothing in common. I mean, my family is pretty poor. It's not our fault, though. My dad sadly passed away, and so it's just me and my mom trying to make ends meet. Julia, on the other hand, has a silver spoon shoved down her throat. But fate still brought us together. I know it's kind of wrong, but that night, I couldn't stop thinking about Callum. He now, in fact, gave me motivation for the next study session with bossy Julia, as maybe he would be there again. I even put on makeup and skipping on the way to her house the next day. But, well, it was all for nothing because Callum was nowhere to be seen. Instead, I had to sit and listen to Julia go on and on about her trip to Paris. I pretended that I was okay, but actually, I'd always dreamed of visiting the City of Light and gazing up at the Eiffel Tower ever since watching Emily in Paris. Dream on, Jenny! Anyway, Julia was incessant. She loved making me look like a fool, and even said,
Aw, poor Jenny. Maybe one day you'll get to go to Paris, but until then, you can just look at all my photos.
Last year, around my birthday, she'd even shown me a fashion magazine and asked me which dress I liked best. I thought she was buying gifts for me, but instead, she showed up at my party in the exact dress I pointed out. I couldn't believe it. She just winked at me and laughed, and I seriously wanted to scream at her. Anyway, after looking at about 1 billion Paris pics, Mr. Walsh appeared. He looked happy to see us sitting so close and studying together. If only he knew the truth, but I had to pretend. I had a lot of fun with Julia and helping her study, at least for his sake. Mr. Walsh was a good friend of our family, and ever since my dad passed away, he'd been looking out for me and was even paying my school fees. I couldn't let him down. But you know what? I actually started to get excited to go over to Julia's now, as the thought of bumping into Callum again gave me butterflies. I even got myself a new hairstyle. But he was never there, and I always left feeling disappointed. Then one time after school, it started to rain dogs and cats and I had to run for it. Then suddenly, I felt an umbrella over my head. Guess what it was? Callum, coming to the rescue. It was like something out of a romantic movie. He even offered me a lift home. My heart was racing so hard. I was afraid he'd hear it. I just sat there in silence, dripping rain all over his clean car. I even caught him looking over at me a few times, and my heart felt like it was going to leap out of my chest. He pulled up at my house, so I was about to get out when he touched my arm and said,
"Can I get your number?"
I was confused. I mean, wasn't he Julia's boyfriend? He then explained that he was just hired to be her fake boyfriend so that all the flirty boys would get out of her way. Wow! I couldn't believe it. He asked me to keep it a secret as Julia would end us both if this story got out. Okay, it all made sense now. That's why he never came over to her house. I felt so happy. Over the next few days, Callum and I chatted a lot on the phone, and then eventually, he asked me out on a date. We were having so much fun, and then a familiar voice pierced the air.
Well, well, well. Isn't that my dear friend Jenny?
I felt dread rush through my whole body. Callum dropped my hand and rushed to Julia's side.
It was all her, babe. You gotta see the messages she sent. She's been flirting with me for weeks. It's pathetic.
Whoa! Was he for real? A second ago he was about to lean in for a kiss, and now he was bad-mouthing me. How could he be so two-faced? I tried to explain to Julia, but she wouldn't listen. She just called me a traitor in front of everyone and told all her friends to lock up their boyfriends in case I try it on with one of theirs next. I was devastated. Everyone was staring at me and judging me. If only I could vanish into thin air right now. And as I was thinking about where I could escape to, a guy appeared, grabbed my wrist, and pulled me away. It was Stefan, the guy who lived across the road from me. I didn't understand why he helped me, but I was so grateful that he did. He walked me home and tried to cheer me up by saying how his mom used to love our bakery so much, and that the carrot cake my mom made was his mom's fave. This made me smile, thinking back on all those happy times in our family bakery. When my dad had died, we'd had to sell it to pay off some debt, and life had become quite difficult. Luckily, Mr. Walsh was helping out, but after what just happened with Julia, I wasn't sure I'd be able to face him. The next day at school, everyone was staring at me. I couldn't even find a place to sit at lunch. What had I done? I'd ruined everything, and then it got worse. My phone beeped. It was Mr. Walsh. He said he was so disappointed in me, and that I no longer needed to come and tutor his daughter. I wanted to cry, and at the same time, I felt so much relief. But then I read on, and he said,
I'm sorry, but I can't keep my promise anymore. I'll continue to subsidize your school fees, but you'll have to figure something out for college. Good luck.
My heart plummeted. Not only had I been shunned by everyone at school and backstabbed by Callum, but now the door to college was being slammed in my face, too. I felt so sick. I just walked out of the canteen and went home. I didn't dare go to school over the next few days. I was miserable, and just when I'd given up all hope, there was a knock at my door. It was Callum. He said he was sorry for what had happened, and that he missed me so much. Then he asked me if I'd be interested in being his secret girlfriend. I was so angry. I wanted to slam the door in his face. At that exact moment, Stefan happened to walk past. Seeing me standing there with Callum, his face changed, and he immediately walked away. Oh no! I definitely couldn't let him misunderstand anything about me anymore. I chased after Stefan. I finally caught up with him and blurted out how I've been feeling. Like the whole world was against me, and that I didn't know what to do. He told me to calm down. Then we went to sit on a bench in the park as he let me confide everything in him. By the time I finished talking, I was on the verge of tears. Then he said,
Listen, Jenny, you're better than this. Don't dim to fit in with those people at your school. Good people will see you for the real you. You're strong, and you can get through anything. I know you can.
He was right. I didn't need to sink as low as Julia and her friends, and I certainly didn't need to rely on Mr. Walsh's money. So I applied for a part-time job at a coffee shop. Earning my own money felt so good. Suddenly, I felt free, and I knew everything was going to be okay. But then one day, when I was working, Julia and her gang came in. They still weren't over what happened, and in front of everyone, they brought up what I'd done to humiliate me. And they even recorded it, and I couldn't stop shaking. This was too much. That's when I threw a cup of coffee all over Julia and ran out of there. Julia shouted after me that she was going to tell my mom everything I'd done. Without a doubt, Julia really did it. She even sent my mom photos of me and Callum at the fair. And, well, my mom didn't take it well. I rushed home to try and explain after Mom yelled at me over the phone. But then I couldn't find Mom anywhere. I called her phone and a man answered. He said my mom was in a hospital after she fainted. I got to the hospital immediately and found out that she had collapsed from shock, but thankfully, she was okay. She had to stay in the rest of the day to be monitored, so I went to get us both a cup of coffee. That's when I saw him, Callum. He was in the ward next door sitting with some girl. I almost dropped the coffee out of shock. They looked close. I waited until he'd left, and then I went to ask the girl if Callum was her boyfriend. Well, turns out they'd been dating for 2 years already, so he was triple cheating. The girl deserved to know the truth, so I took a deep breath and told her everything. She was so upset, we decided to get our own back. So the girl called Callum and asked him to come back. As soon as he arrived, we confronted him and got the truth once and for all. He was hired by Julia to pretend to date me and ruin my life. Apparently, she was jealous of how much attention her dad gave me since my dad had died, and that her dad constantly compared her to me. He kept apologizing to his girlfriend, saying how much he loved her, and that he only agreed to help Julia so that he could earn some money to help pay for her medical bills. I was stunned. Callum was so apologetic and said he'd come clean about everything. He posted it on the school forum to clear my name and to everyone to see the ugly truth about Julia. And of course, when Mr. Walsh saw it, he made her come and apologize to me. And he also apologized himself and offered to pay my college fees again. Do you think I accepted his offer? Of course not. I was standing on my own feet now, and there was no going back. I didn't need anyone's help. So you might be wondering how I could afford college. Surely not on my coffee shop salary. Right! Well, after graduating high school, I realized how much I missed the bakery. That was where I truly felt happy. So I decided to study to become a pastry chef. And now my mom and I have opened a new bakery. I've never been happier. And there's one last thing I want to share. Oh, in fact, here he is.
Hey, Stefan, I've made your mom's fave. Let's go surprise her.
I couldn't stop smiling as Stefan took the carrot cake, kissed my cheek, and we headed for his car.
Hi, I'm Natalie, and I'm the only child of a rich couple of tech entrepreneurs. They developed some apps that became super popular overnight, and they became millionaires. Sounds cool, right? Well, it wasn't that great for me. But before we continue the story, Please like and subscribe. My parents were always working or traveling, so I hardly ever saw them. I was practically raised by my nanny, and my best friend was my chauffeur, Thomas. I really wanted to have friends my age to play with, so when I was 5 and starting school, I was thrilled. I put on my new uniform and cleaned my thick glasses. Oh yeah, I have a huge eyesight problem. I'm almost blind without them. When we arrived, I noticed that everyone in the parking lot was looking at me. Just then, I spotted a girl my age standing close by and saw that she was wearing the exact same shoes as me. I walked up to her excitedly and put my foot next to hers. Look, we have the same shoes. We could be best friends. The girl stomped on my foot.
Don't think you'll be popular here just because you came in a fancy car, 4 eyes.
But
I didn't ask and I don't care. Don't talk to me.
And with that, she flicked her hair and left, and her minions followed. I soon discovered that her name was Cynthia, and she was in my class. She told everyone I was a loser who'd begged to be her best friend, and I instantly became a laughingstock. For the next few years, I just kept my head down and ate my lunch alone in the janitor's closet. In the 2nd grade, I saw a sign-up sheet on the board for dance auditions. I'd been having dance lessons at home since I was a kid, and I loved it, so I immediately put my name down. But just then, I heard Cynthia laughing behind me.
There's no place for you here. Only talented dancers can join the class. The ones who don't wear stupid glasses.
I was so tired of her walking all over me. I am a talented dancer. You don't get to decide what my place this.
With that heavy equipment in front of your eyes, I don't think so.
That joke about my glasses is now older than my grandma, and I'm bored. Come up with something better already. Her eyes went wide in surprise, and I walked off feeling proud of myself. Maybe she'd let me be now, but I was so wrong. On the day of the audition, she got to dance first. She wasn't bad, but I was better. But when she finished dancing, all the judges got up and clapped for her. Immediately, a woman in the jury said,
"That was brilliant. We have the person here for the lead role."
"Wait, what?" I climbed onto the stage immediately. "Excuse me, ma'am, but she was only the first dancer. You haven't even seen the rest yet." The woman looked at me with disgust.
"I can tell simply by looking at someone if they're talented, and you are not. Someone take her away, please. Next."
That was so unfair. After the audition, I saw Cynthia hugging that woman and calling her mom. Now it made sense why the judge was so nasty. Well, I couldn't even do the one thing I loved, and Cynthia still kept making my life miserable. Over the next few years, she spread a rumor that I had a contagious eye disease, and anyone who hung out with me would go blind, and everyone actually believed her. Another time, I'd taken my glasses off during an exam to clean them, and I didn't notice her slipping a cheat sheet on my desk. I nearly got suspended. I spent most of my time denying all these stupid rumors, and it was exhausting. One day in 7th grade, as I was walking down the corridor, Cynthia pushed me and my glasses fell off. "What the hell are you doing?"
Move it, Professor Four Eyes.
That was it! I attacked her blurry figure, knocking her to the ground. We were wrestling, pulling and pulling each other's hair when a teacher intervened, and we both ended up in the principal's office. Cynthia looked totally chilled out, and her mom landed 2 minutes later to defend her.
"Oh, I know this child. She's a troublemaker."
Her mom was on the school board, and the principal seemed to believe her instantly.
"Where are your parents? Your father said he'd be here right away."
Before I could answer, Thomas opened the door.
Oh, that's not her father. That's her chauffeur.
Clearly, she's not on her parents' priority list. They sent the chauffeur to deal with her.
I blinked away my tears furiously and ran off to the empty school auditorium, one of my usual hiding spots. I put on my headphones and started dancing in the dark. It was the only thing that kept me sane. When I finished, I heard someone clapping. As I looked towards the audience, I saw a boy sitting in the dark. It was Clayton. Clayton was popular and hot, and every girl in school wanted to date him, including Cynthia, and that was reason enough for me to stay away from him. "What do you want?"
I was just watching you dance. You're really good.
"Please just stay away from me." And as I was walking past him, he gently took my arm.
Wait a second. Okay, I just want to talk.
I stopped, my heart beating a little faster. He removed my glasses.
You're really pretty.
As he pulled me closer, I shut my eyes waiting for my very first kiss. But before anything happened, he started to laugh and ran away with my glasses. "Hey, wait!" I started panting and sweating. Everything was dark and blurry. I heard laughs coming from every corner.
Loser, four-eyed dork.
I covered my ears and started to cry. Suddenly, Thomas opened the door and shouted,
"Natalie, where are you?"
"Oh, here comes the superhero to the rescue."
Or should we say super chauffeur?
Cynthia and her tribe skipped out laughing as Thomas took my hand and then drove me home. I didn't go to school for a few days and stayed in bed, but the more I thought about it, the angrier I felt. I was alone and my parents weren't going to come bail me out. I had to stand up for myself. It was the only way to deal with these bullies. But when I went back to school, suddenly everyone and everything had changed. Cynthia ran towards me and hugged me like a best friend.
My Nat, we were so worried about you.
Yes. Where have you been? We missed you.
Even Clayton was there smiling at me. What on earth was happening? What are you up to? Don't touch me. And then I heard a voice behind me. It was my mom.
Natalie, what are you doing?
What am I doing? What are you doing here?
Nat, how come you never told us that your mother is the founder of the most successful fashion app in the world? She just gave us a ton of discount coupons for the most awesome brands.
And why did I need to tell you that I don't even use it?
You're hilarious, Nat. That's why we're best friends.
No, we're not. You're a psycho.
Natalie, you're being so rude. I didn't teach you those manners.
You're right. You didn't teach me any manners. You didn't teach me anything. So go back to making your apps, Mom, and take these psychos with you. Well, maybe having a famous mom would finally help get Cynthia off my back, but that was wishful thinking. Because from that day on, I not only had to deal with her at school, but also in my own home. Since Cynthia had convinced my mother that we were best friends, Mom had a brilliant idea of inviting her home every day and to come with me in the limo. But one day, just when I was at the edge of losing my mind, something unexpected happened. As I was coming out of class, I saw Cynthia and her mom arguing.
You need to train for nationals, Cynthia. You seem really distracted.
Don't worry, Mom. I'm practicing at the studio every day. I know how important the competition is.
Okay, just checking. You have to win every competition to get a university scholarship. Your stupid father has left me with no money, and you have to go to Juilliard. It's important for my reputation.
I know, Mom.
I realized Cynthia had been lying to her mom about going for practice because she was always at my place. Now is my chance to get rid of her once and for all. That afternoon, when Cynthia was at my place as usual, I stole her cell phone, took her mom's number, and called her, acting as a secretary from the dance studio. Hi, I wanted to tell you that your daughter had an accident at the studio and you're her emergency contact. Can you please come over immediately?
Oh my God, is she okay?
Yes, she's fine, but she's asking for you. I'm sending you the address.
I'll be right there.
Okay, that was a bit dramatic, I know. When I heard a car screech to a halt outside my house, I went running out. Cynthia's mom was shocked to see me.
You, what? Is this some kind of prank?
Oh no, please believe me, you have to come see Cynthia. As her mom looked at me suspiciously, I led her to my bedroom where Cynthia and her minions were reading magazines, lying on my bed.
Gosh, I think I'll just run away and become a teen model or marry some rich billionaire. I don't want to dance and go to stupid college. Mom is really annoying. No wonder Dad left her.
You ungrateful Brad.
Mom, I was just kidding. Shut up. You're coming with me right now. You're grounded for life.
She took Cynthia by the ear, like a 5-year-old rascal caught doing something bad by her mommy. It was heaven, and I've been recording the whole thing on my phone. It was an Oscar-worthy film I could watch on repeat, and then I shared it with the whole school. By the next day, Cynthia was the laughingstock, and that was the end of her popularity. But when I got home that day, Mom was waiting for me with her phone in her hand.
You made this and circulated it everywhere. How could you do this to that nice girl? You're a terrible person.
I'm glad at least this made you pay some attention to me. Mom, did you know Cynthia has bullied me from the day I started school? Do you know she's knocked me down, spread rumors about me, and humiliated me in front of everyone? You wouldn't know because you were never here. Her mom always came to defend her, but mine never showed up for me.
I'm sorry, Natalie. I didn't know I was so busy all these years to build a great future for you. This app, this company, this money, it's all yours.
Well, you know what, Mom? I always thought I was angry at you for never having any time for me. But now I think what's been bothering me all along is that I'll grow up to run your company one day, and I'll become someone like you. And I don't want to be like you. I don't want to ignore the people who love me the most for some company or money.
Oh, I didn't know you hated me this much.
Mom, I don't hate you. I hate the fact that I might turn out to be a mother like you.
Please forgive me. Please give me a chance.
I wasn't ready to forgive her right away, and I didn't talk to her for months, but it seems like my words had really moved her, and she kept trying to make up for all the lost time. And eventually I decided to give her a chance again. And well, Cynthia, she never bothered me again. She was now a prisoner of her mother, who didn't take her eyes off her and forced her to dance every single day. Before ending the story, I want to tell you that pushing others is not right. We should learn to love and help one another.
Hi, I'm Mia from Law. Please like and subscribe. Growing up, it was just me and my mom who was a famous photographer working for big brands and celebrities. So you'd think with a photographer parent, I'd have a beautifully documented childhood. Well, you'd be wrong. I hardly had any pictures because Mom was always too busy, and I was raised by nannies. Sure, Mom gave me everything, but she couldn't make much time for me. She did try by setting up her studio at home. But once, when she was in a meeting, I slipped into her dark room and switched on the lights, and all her photos were destroyed. That nanny was fired, and Mom relocated her studio. And then she hired a lady named Susan who was the coolest. Susan could play hide and seek with me for hours. She'd always let me do her makeup, and she even taught me how to slide down our main staircase. She'd pitch up a tent in our backyard and then tell me stories around a fire. And what a storyteller she was! She'd just make up magical tales in the moment, and I was hooked.
What are you thinking? You lily-livered, yellow-bellied scallywag?
I was thinking you should be my mom.
Susan laughed it off, but I was kinda serious. She even gifted me my first notebook when I turned 8, because she knew I loved writing stories. And that meant more to me than any of the presents Mom had sent. Yeah, she couldn't make it to my birthday. Once, when I was 9, Susan had taken the day off, and I ended up being stuck with Mom at a photo shoot at some historical building.
Mom, I'm bored.
Read your book, Mia.
But I'm also hungry and sleepy.
Think of something fun to do for a little longer, okay?
Okay, but you better come find me soon.
Yeah, soon.
So I skipped off to find an amazing hiding place. I thought it was clear to Mom that we were playing hide and seek. As I waited for her in my spot, I dozed off, and when I woke up, it was kinda dark. I tried to find my way back to Mom's shoot, but I was totally lost. Luckily, a security guard found me and took me to the nearest police station, and the only number I knew by heart was Susan's. Sometime later, both Mom and Susan came running in, and I jumped straight into Susan's arms.
Sweetie, you really scared your mom. Give her a hug.
But I was so mad at her because she didn't come looking for me. Susan would have never let that happen. Soon after, in 5th grade, I came home from school one day to find a girl my age in the kitchen, eating my cereal.
Who are you and why are you here? And who eats cereal for lunch? I eat what I want when I want. You're not my boss. Now shoo.
I was about to smack that thief in the face when Susan walked in, and she introduced the girl as Harper, her daughter. I didn't even know Susan had one, and I felt a pang of jealousy.
Your mom has to travel out of town more often, so she's requested that I live here now, and I'm moving in with Harper. Isn't that great? I'm sure you two will get along wonderfully.
I was certain that we would not. She was a nuisance. She threw away all my markers caps so they dried out, spilt juice all over my bed to make it look like Pete, and gave my favorite shoes to a stray dog. But I only had to scream, and Susan would tell her off. Harper would tag along with us everywhere, and she'd glare at me and make comments under her breath when Susan was out of earshot.
If you don't stop annoying me, I'll tell Susan to make you leave. She's my mom, and if I leave, she leaves with me. Well, she likes me better. As if your mom pays her to spend time with you. You're just a job to her.
I'd never really thought about it that way, but it was true. That didn't mean she loved me any less, did it? Soon enough, Mom got Harper into my school. I was the top student in class, but she replaced me quickly. Her mental math was faster, her science projects were more inventive, and her creativity had the English teacher gushing. Usually the person with the best story would be selected to read theirs out loud every week. And now it was always her. And one day when I walked into the living room, I saw Harper on the sofa with her feet up, watching TV, and the sight boiled my blood. I just didn't want her here.
It's time for my show. Please leave. There's a television in your mom's room. Watch it there. It's not your place to tell me what to do. What's that supposed to mean? I thought my mom was like family. That makes me family too, so deal with it.
I snapped and dumped her bowl of popcorn on her head. She pounced on me, and as I was pushing her off, I sent her crashing into a table, knocking off a huge vase. Susan came running in at the noise, and she went bonkers on Harper.
How could you do this? You know better.
But Mom...
No, Harper, I told you you had to be perfect. Do you want to go back to the way things were? You get to go to a great school and live in a nice place. But if you can't appreciate that, then we leave today.
I'd never seen Susan so mad, and I didn't want her to quit. Also, I felt a little bad for Harper.
Wait, it was an accident. I tripped, and she was just helping me up.
Susan calmed down, And after that day, things started getting better between me and Harper. Once we both backed off from annoying each other, we realized that we actually had a lot in common, especially our love for writing. And over time, we became like siblings who were constantly competing and arguing over dumb things. But we certainly didn't hate each other anymore. By the time we reached high school, Mom had expanded her studios to several locations. She wanted me to take an interest in the business, and even though I pretended I didn't like tagging along, I actually loved the glamorous shoot and meeting celebrities. I even started hanging out with celebrity kids my age, and they were something else. They shopped in private malls and had front row tickets to every concert. And once, I went to a party with a giant indoor wave pool, which was awesome. I'd often invite Harper to join us, but she never seemed comfortable around them. One night, we were at a burger joint when they decided it would be fun to break into an amusement park at night and operate the rides.
Ah, that sounds fun, right, Harper? No, it doesn't. It sounds illegal. Don't be such a buzzkill. You only live once. Unclench your butt cheeks. Mia, this is a bad idea, and Mom would never approve. Yeah, so we're not telling her. I'll just text Susan and say we're staying at a friend's tonight. No, I'm going home. What a loser. Let's go, Mia.
We had a blast at the amusement park and even narrowly escaped when a security guard turned up. We almost peed our pants laughing as we drove away, and it was such a thrill, but Harper had a sour face the next day.
Just spit it out. What's your problem with my friends? They're fun and perfectly nice people. They're not nice. Haven't you noticed their comments on my appearance? They're just giving you some friendly fashion advice. They're being condescending, Mia, and they're reckless, spoiled brats who are just used to their parents getting them whatever they want. Okay, so my mom also gets me anything I want. Harp, is that what you think of me too? No, of course not. It's different with you.
But I caught Harper rolling her eyes when Mom got me a sports car for my 17th birthday. Also, when I got into a college business program without taking the entry test because Mom knew the dean, and she got really pissed when my friends were over one day, and one of them knocked their drink over on Mia's laptop and fried it. Things were tense between us, but when I found out about a national story contest, I went straight to Harper with it, trying to get into her good books.
Won't you be entering it yourself? Or maybe you can just win it anyway because your mom probably knows someone. Stop being so snarky. I haven't written something in ages, so no, I'm not entering. But you should, Harper. The winner even gets a scholarship to a great writing program.
She finally agreed, and some weeks later, she sent off her story. And then one day, she burst into my room excitedly.
Mia, I won! Holy marbles! I actually won! What? The contest! Not only am I getting the scholarship, Mia, they want to turn my short story into a novel, and it's going to be published. Can you imagine? Oh, thank you for convincing me to enter. Harper, that's amazing. I gotta tell Mom. She's gonna be so happy.
I couldn't help feeling a little jealous, though. I'd always wanted to have a story published, and Harper was actually getting to do it. I pushed the thought away. I could do it someday, too. And I was happy, for that is, till her book came out. It was my first time reading her script, and my heart started racing. I couldn't believe my eyes as I frantically skimmed through the pages. These were my stories, not exactly word for word, but the main themes, and so many ideas. They were mine. I stormed downstairs and shoved the book in Harper's face.
You cheat! What? These are my ideas, Harper. You stole them from my notebooks. How could you stoop so low? Are you crazy? Why would I even look through your notebooks? Then how did my ideas magically appear in your story? 'Cause they're magical. My ideas? But of course, you found a way to make it about yourself. You've always thought you're better than me because I'm just the help's daughter. Don't change the subject, witch. And I've loved Susan like my own mom. Yeah, and never thought about how you took all her time away from me. I was at home with my rotten grandma while Mom looked after your highness. Well, we were gonna leave after high school anyway, but now with my book deal, I'm sure I can take Mom away even further faster. I always knew you were jealous of me, and I was right. Jealous of you? Oh, please! Why would I be jealous of someone whose mother can't be bothered to talk to her more than twice a month? Shut up, Harper. I never want to speak to you again. Fine by me.
Susan was really upset when she found out about our fight, and she tried to make us talk, but I refused. I couldn't even look at Harper. And then one night, some reporters came to interview her at the house and asked her where she got her inspiration.
Oh, my mom's always been a great storyteller. I wouldn't be here without her. You wouldn't be here without me, Harper. Hey everyone, here's something you should.
Harper attacked me, and suddenly we were fighting like wildcats till our moms pulled us apart. Mom asked the reporters to leave, and when I told her everything, she was livid.
After everything I've done for you two, and this is how you repay me? Stealing ideas from my daughter and attacking her too? I want you both gone now.
It broke my heart to see Susan leave like this, but it was all her evil daughter's fault. It didn't make me feel better though. I didn't even want to meet any of my friends. Then one night, Mom knocked on my door.
Hey sweetie, wanna go out for dinner?
I don't really feel like it, Mom.
Do it for me anyway.
I reluctantly agreed, and she took me to a small Italian restaurant.
This is where your father and I came on our first date.
You don't ever talk about him, Mom. You really don't talk to me at all.
Your father was a photographer too. He got sick soon after I got pregnant with you. It was really hard for me to deal with his loss, and I just threw myself into work. Also, I always wanted to make sure I had enough to take care of you on my own, but I think I've let you down.
What do you mean?
I can see how much you miss Susan, and she's made you into the kind of person you are today. Not me. It used to hurt my feelings when you preferred her as a kid, but I can't blame you. Is there anything I can do to make up for me not being there?
Mom, I've always appreciated everything you've given me, but I think I just want your time now.
Over the years, Mom and I grew closer, and I got more involved with her business. I'd see Harper on the news she'd turned her novel into a trilogy and gained worldwide success. I tried to get over my bitterness, but I just couldn't forget the betrayal. Then one day, my assistant let in a visitor, and I was shocked to see Harper.
What are you doing here? I don't want to see you. Please, Mia, just hear me out.
She told me that Susan had fallen sick and had been in the hospital for months. My heart sank at the news.
She's recovering now, but she keeps asking to see you. Please, you should hear what she has to say.
I put all my differences aside and ran to see her, and hugging her made me feel like a kid again.
Susan, I've missed you so much.
I've missed you too, Mia.
But what's happened? Are you okay?
Yes, I'm much better, but there's something I have to tell you now.
Okay, what is it?
Harper didn't steal your stories, Mia. I did.
I felt like someone had punched me.
It wasn't intentional, believe me. You remember how you always shared your stories with me over the years. When Harper was writing for that contest, she had writer's block, and I gave her some ideas. I didn't realize those were all yours, or that it would be such a big deal. But after you two fought, I realized what I'd done, but I just couldn't come clean. I didn't want to take away this amazing thing from my daughter, but I felt so awful for the pain I caused you. Mia, I am so sorry. Do you think you can ever forgive me?
Please don't cry, Susan. I just need some time to process this, okay?
I sat outside her hospital room, still trying to wrap my head around everything. Just then, Harper joined me.
Mom just told me a week ago. Mia, I really had no idea. But we can fix this. I can announce publicly that some ideas were yours, and you can be given due credit. No, Harper, slow down. It's okay. You know what? Your mom inspired me to write stories too. I'm sure so many of my ideas came from her. It kind of feels right that they came back to you, and I'm enjoying being part of Mom's business. And I'm glad you've done so well for yourself. I'm glad you're happy too, Mia. And about all those things I said, I didn't really mean them. Me neither. Forget about it. Can we be friends again? As long as you bring your mom along. I only tolerated you because of her. Right back at you.